Great. So let's see. We already have Flex Gateway running, and what is happening here is that I'm running in the terminal, and here you can see my container as well running the Flex Gateway. So what we're going to do is let's dive into the details of how you can get that done. You add here Gateway in Runtime Manager, you select the container, you select Docker, and you will have 5 commands that you will be running. This Docker command is extremely important because it has the token, the authentication for your instance, it has the organization, basically your business group data, and what it does is going to make a registration encrypted file that you will need for the next step, that is the Docker run. You need to make sure your Docker run is in the same folder. With that said, this has Flex Gateway already running in Runtime Manager. We go to API instance. In API Manager, we can create a new API instance. We add an API. You can select the Flex Gateway here from the ones that are actually connected, and you can go ahead and continue with the steps. For today, we already have this one set up, and we're going to see the settings of what it's actually doing. This is the overview, and these are the metrics we're seeing in a moment. In the settings, you can see 8081 port, the protocol HTTP. Please never use it. Always use HTTPS, not like me. And the consumer endpoint is localhost 8081. What happens is upstream, you can define the upstream traffic, which is basically the outbound traffic. Where is the Flex Gateway going to send that information towards? And here we define two upstream. One is google.com and one is wikipedia.org. Again, if you're going to work in production, please define the TLS. It's mandatory. And in second point here is that you have the routes. You can define upstreams and you can define also the routes of those upstreams. So you can define Wikipedia, and half of the traffic goes to Wikipedia and half of the other traffic goes to Wikipedia version 2. For example, if you're doing a sort of blue-green deployments or canary deployments. And what happens here is that you can define the route even at the level granularity of the HTTP method. You can put the path, the host, and you can create as many routes as you wish. Now, because we already did it, what is going to happen, we're going to go into Postman and we're going to make a call to the local host. We go to Postman, we make the call to the local host, and we see that Wikipedia is working as it should. It's making a call to localhost 8081, it's going to Flex Gateway, and then it's turning back their answer from Wikipedia. And because we want to make a second step, this was our first step to actually get it working, now we need to set up a policy, because we don't want only to redirect the traffic to Wikipedia, we also want to set up this policy. This is a rate limiting policy that I had before. I disable it and I can enable it whenever I want. And if we jump into the configuration, you can see that it's very basic. It's number of requests, how many, 10, the time period 1, and the minute 1 is going to be the time unit, is going to be minutes. So 10 requests per minute, basically. Very important. I'm adding here the expose header so I can see the rate limiting in the response and other data if I wanted to do some debugging as well. And here it's some advanced options that you can also specify method and resources. So we already set it up. It's already running. And if we go here, of course, I'm a lazy developer. I'm never going to click 30 times my request. It's a 10 requests per minute. We're going to run this script. And if everything works, we should start seeing, 429, too many requests. Now we're getting an error because of the policy limitation. Thank you very much. This has been the demo. And before we finish, just as an added, let's go into the actual summary of the metrics. You can see here, these are the overview of the API instance. We can put last hour because that's where I was doing my testing. And here you can see to the limitation here, and you can see, okay, there are this amount of requests, around 160, and this amount of violations, about 20. This is some tests I was doing before this video, and you can see all those 20 requests. The problem was the 429 issue that we were talking about. And that's all for today. Thank you very much for your time.